What is up, guys? Welcome to yet another episode of Kicking It with Manny. On today's episode, I am super excited, just like always, and I wanted to talk to you guys about relationship mistakes and how you can avoid them. I want to give you some value from my own personal experience. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe for more episodes like this. If you enjoy the content, if it brings some value to you, subscribe, hit the like button, and let's dive into it. The first mistake that we make in a relationship is comparing our relationship to that of others. This is very normal and is very usual with social media within this day and age that we are in. When we are in a relationship, we try to look at what other people are doing. We try to compare our man or our woman to that of other people. And this is a negative thing that can affect your relationship in so many different ways, because you are trying to set expectations for this person to meet when in honesty, that other relationship you are comparing it to, you don't know what is going on with them. They might be posting things that seems like they are enjoying the best life, they are living, they are happy, but you don't know what they struggle with. You don't know how far they have worked to get to where they are. And some of the things that we try to compare our relationship with, especially when it comes to social media, is unreal. It's like unreal expectations that we have. And when that happens, you are setting yourself up for failure in your own relationship. And this is how you can avoid this. When you are in a relationship, think about the good things that person have, that good qualities that first drove you or you found attractive in that person, and appreciate these things. Comparing yourself to others or comparing your partner, especially, because this honestly doesn't make you or the relationship any better. Because when you make comparison, you're trying to set bars here when that person that you are with may not have the same qualities. If you are in a relationship and you want a woman or a man, let's say for a man, if you are in a relationship with a man and you want him to have muscle, or you want him to be in the fitness industry, or you want him to make a certain amount of money, before you get into the relationship, put that on the table. Have a conversation about it. When this happens, it eliminates any kind of confusion or any kind of higher expectations that we set for the other person. Same vice versa. If you are with if you want a woman who have big boobs or big ass, or whatever it is that you look for, whatever qualities physically you look for, make sure that before you get into the relationship, you put these things on the table, or wait until you have a person that has these physical qualities. When this happens, you're going to be in a very satisfied place where you will not be making any physical, financial, or emotional comparison with your relationship to that of others. This will eliminate that. And before you even get into the relationship, guys, comparison doesn't help anything. If you want your relationship to be better in any area at all, you have to work on this. You have to have a conversation with your partner. You have to think about ways that those problems can be resolved. You have to create a solution. A solution can come in so many different ways. And this will lead me into the second thing. Mistakes that we make, we don't communicate. We do not communicate enough. We feel like he reads my actions and he knows me. We feel like she can understand without saying anything to her. You are doing yourself a disservice if you do not communicate. See, communication in a relationship is everything. If you want the person to love you better, if you want the person, your partner, to please you in a certain way in the bedroom, if you want them to be more driven, whatever you are needing from them, you need to have an open conversation with them. You need to learn their communication method. How do they want to have conversations with? How do they want to talk? Sometimes conversations that we can have with our partner can be very stressful if we don't know how to have conversations with our own selves. So before that happens, you need to know how to communicate. Communication is a skill that you can learn before a relationship. You should not be in the relationship if you don't know how to have an open conversation. You should not be in the relationship if you don't know how to express your emotions. You should not be in the relationship if you don't know how to physically communicate your needs to your partner. You should not be in a relationship until you are in a place where communication is a natural flow for you. This will allow you to express yourself. This will allow you to be in a better place to share things openly without holding things back from your partner. This is one of the things. Communication has caused a lot of grief, and I can relate to this because I have been there. In my past relationship, way back in the past, I speak about few things and I expect my partner to understand everything. And your partner is not a mind reader. Your partner is not some psyche who can immediately look at your reactions and think, okay, this is what he wants or this is what she wants. You have to openly communicate for your relationship to be better. Whatever need that you have, whatever expectations that you have, whatever requirements that you have to have an open conversation. And there are ways to have conversations. You cannot be yelling at the person expecting them to listen to you, especially with men. As women, you should not be nagging, you should not be screaming, you should not be cursing him out, thinking this will allow him or this will help him listen to you. You should be able to sit down with him. You should be able to hold his hands. You should be able to caress him. You should be able to be present with him and just let him know that you are here undividedly and you want to understand his needs so that you can become a better woman for him or a better man for her. That is another mistake that we make, and how to apply this technique can help you improve your relationship. The next thing that I want to talk about is financial expectations, unrealistic financial expectations. And I will share with you guys how to avoid this. So, if you are a man or a woman and you look for a certain level of financial stability in your partner, you have to talk to them. You have to put it out on the table. This is the same thing, communication. Because financial constraints have caused a lot of breakups in many relationships. There are women who want men who make six figures. It's okay. That is the expectations. Even though they might not be making six figures, they want him to make that. Unrealistic expectations. There are men who expect women to be business owners. And maybe she just likes to work in a call center. Maybe she is happy working in Starbucks. Maybe she's happy just being a teacher or just being whatever. There's nothing wrong with what she wants to do, but you need to make sure that the amount of money she is making, if she is happy, you guys need to have the conversation, because you don't want to be in the middle of the relationship before there's problems or mistakes surface. You want to address them from the beginning. If you did not know before, it is okay. You are here now. How can you correct this? How can you eliminate? How can you create a solution for this problem? And money is a big issue in a relationship. And if you don't know how to handle money with maturity, if you don't know how to be more frugal, if you don't know how to control your spending habits, this is going to be a stress that is going to cause a lot of problems in your relationship. So if this is how you can avoid this, and that's why I communicated how to avoid that. It's the best way to do this is just be honest. Be honest about how much you're making. Be honest about if you have the drive or the aspirations to make more money, or to create a business that is going to bring more income, or to start a side hustle. Either on the man or on the woman's side of things, you should be able to communicate these things, and you should be honest about them. Do not lie about how much you make. Do not lie if you are financially stressed out. And if you are, you have the opportunity to create a solution around it. If you are bad with money, if you don't have any discipline with your finances, and this is causing you to be stressing about money constantly, you have to take healthy money saving habits that can help you to save up more money, or start a side hustle that is going to help you make more money. Money is like an ongoing thing, just like life. We can make more when we learn new skills, when we start a side hustle, whatever it is, we can create that and we can make more money. So this is how you can avoid that problem. Let's dive into the next thing. The next thing is having unrealistic sexual expectations. Unrealistic sexual or intimate expectations in the bedroom. Guys, there are women, or there are men who want their partner to be doing all these things, all these crazy things, all this. I mean, I don't think it's crazy, but it's like in her past or in his past, he has had this exposure, he has had this experience, and now that he is with you, the standards are so high that you have to meet them. So I always say, talk to your partner. If you desire to sexually be in a certain way, this is how you avoid this problem. This is how you create a solution. The unrealistic expectation sexually or intimately, this is how you avoid or create a solution and move on. You have to be comfortable with talking about sex. Sex is a topic a lot of us try to avoid. A lot of us feel uncomfortable talking about it. If you are a freak, say you are a freak. Be honest about it. If you like certain things, talk to him about it. If you like certain styles, certain movements, certain whatever, have a conversation. It is that easy. If you feel shy about talking about these things, then you are telling yourself that I don't deserve to be given these things that I want from me. So for me, I made those mistakes before. It's crazy, but your boy, yeah, he had his days back in the 2016s or whatever. But I always say, share things with each other. Whatever you like, whatever style, whatever movement, whatever positions, guys. Whatever you like, have a conversation with your partner about it. You guys can openly express these things so that you can feel more comfortable. And this is one of the things that will happen when you do that. When you do that, there is some level of trust that is established between you and your partner. Because now you have become vulnerable to that extent where you can have these conversations with him. You can share your thoughts with him. You can tell him the things that you enjoy sexually so that he can learn, or she can learn to perform them for you so that you can be sexually satisfied. These are things that you have to talk about. If you are afraid to have a conversation about sex with your partner, then you have a problem. If he has been in you multiple times and you've been doing all these services for him multiple times, you should not feel shy about talking about this. Talking about sex is not a taboo. You are in a relationship and sex is part of the relationship. Sex satisfies her. It satisfies him. So if you can have a conversation, if you can share things that you like together, you guys will have the most amazing experience ever in the bedroom. Like when he is at work or she is at work, you cannot wait to just, do that thing with him. This is how the intimacy creates, and the intimacy gets more spicier. And for me, at this level in my life, I have gone through so much, but because life has taken me on so many different directions and so many different journeys that I learn. Everything I learn. It doesn't matter if it's a taboo. I'm learning because what? If I am in a relationship, I want to perform the best for my partner. It doesn't matter how long. It doesn't matter what she wants. I'm in, all in. Hours and hours, let's go. See, that's the thing. Once you learn from these things from your past, or once you have this podcast being a resource to you, it helps you to make better choices for your relationship to blossom. So, this is one of the things in how you can avoid that. And the last thing that I want to touch on is really knowing how to deal with problems in the relationship. A lot of the times we don't know how to resolve conflict. Knowing how to resolve conflict is very important. The lack of knowledge and the lack of experience that we have creates this kind of mindset where we don't know how to resolve conflict. And your relationship is going to have problems. There could be problems from different directions and from different things. Knowing how to resolve these problems is a key factor if you want the relationship to last and if you want your partner to be happy and you being satisfied. So, how do you resolve conflict in a relationship? Whatever the conflict is, you need to first of all acknowledge it. If your partner is having a problem, if there is any conflict at home, you need to know how to first acknowledge the problem that is there. If they are sharing these things with you, acknowledge that they feel this way. The first thing that is going to help your partner to feel more relaxed and feel more understood is when you acknowledge her emotions or his emotions. Whatever problems that he brings to you or communicates to you, you need to acknowledge that it is there. Do not brush it off. Do not nag about it. Do not complain about it. It doesn't do you guys any good nagging about a problem or a problem that he or she shares with you. Acknowledge it first. Let him know. Let her know. Babe, I get you. I understand. I'm sorry you feel this way. How can we make it work? When you acknowledge these things, it makes the person feel respected, because men and women, especially with men, we want to feel respect. So if we share something that bothers us with you and you refuse to acknowledge it in the first place, you create this crazy atmosphere where we feel like we are just not being heard. We are not being understood. So if there is a problem that he brings to you or she brings to you, first of all, acknowledge that problem, acknowledge her presence, give her your undivided attention, and you move forward into solution stage. The solution stage is you feel this problem, you share these things with me. How can we resolve this? How can we have a conversation? How can we be in the middle? How can we both bring something together to make this relationship better, to make you more happier, to make you feel like you are more satisfied? Whatever the need is that your partner expresses with you, you should acknowledge the problem first, move into the solution phase. When you are going into creating a solution or a middle ground, you need to learn how to express these things. You need to learn how to make compassion a key factor. You need to learn how to be kind. You need to learn how to respect the person's presence. You should not be yelling at him because he told you that he's unhappy here or unhappy there. It doesn't do you guys any good. If you want to be a better conflict resolutioner, I don't even know if that is a word, but if you want to resolve conflict better in your relationship, you need to acknowledge the person. You need to acknowledge the problem. You need to move into a phase where you both can be on an equal level of conversation. You talk to me, I talk to you. Whatever the problem is, let's talk about it. Now that we've talked about the problem, how can we fix it? Maybe it is about I spend too much time on my phone and you don't give me attention. How can I minimize the time I spend on my phone? Or maybe I spend too much time with my friends and you don't get any attention. How can I minimize that? There is always going to be a middle ground when it comes to conflict resolution. And if you learn this better, you are going to have a healthier relationship with your partner and with yourself. Because what's going to end up happening is that when your partner is happy, you are going to be happy. If there are things that bothers you and you can express that to them, they are going to feel like this person understands me and this person is the one I want to go through life with. Life is hard. Things are happening around us every single day. Do not allow your relationship to suffer because you didn't learn how to talk to the person that you're with. Do not allow your relationship to struggle because you didn't learn how to compromise. Do not allow your relationship to go down that negative path because you had so much ego. Do not allow your relationship to struggle because you don't know how to manage money. Everything comes together to make a relationship better. And when you learn how to put these things in place, when you learn how to apply them, and when you learn how to come from a place of compassion and kindness, your relationship is going to grow. And these are the things that I have learned from my past. And I have learned this not only from mistakes that I've made, I've learned this from research. I've learned this from reading more books because guess what? Resources are out in the world from many different directions. There are philosophers, there are people who have made these mistakes ample amount of time, and they have combined everything into a book that we can read to be better people. And this is what I did. So guys, I hope this episode brought some value. I hope it allowed you to sit back and a little bit, take inventory and think about how you can be better in your relationship. And think about how you acknowledge these problems and creating solution to grow your relationship. Thank you guys for checking out this episode. I appreciate you. And if you made it to the end of this episode, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you comment. I want to know your thoughts, what you think, how this resonates with you, and how this brought some value. I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say about this, and I will see you in the next one.